So I'm on an emerging technology team that works with creative and digital agencies to help them put the future in front of their clients, get their clients excited about the technology. And having heard through the grapevines of the amazing work that you guys have done at Ogilvy, I'm interested to understand a little bit about what is it like taking some of this to clients? What are some of the hot button topics?
So it's really tough, right? I think most people, there's so many technologies out there. Everybody's got some new silver bullet that's going to fix this creative problem that you have. And the real question that we always ask is, well, hang on a minute. It's not really about the technology. What's the use case, right? What is that solve you want to have to the client? And then we'll figure out the technology that works. So the big area that we've been focused on over the last sort of 18 months or so is in two areas. One is around AI and all the buzz around AI. There's a huge amount of buzz, and it's all about, they're coming to get your job. The machines are going to do everything.
Take creatives out of the process.
Take the creatives out of the process, exactly. So what we're saying is, hang on a minute, maybe there's a value here, so let's go explore that. Then the other area is the application of AI, image recognition, natural language processing, and changing the dynamic as to how you can engage with your customer using those technologies. So we'll sit there and we'll say, okay, for healthcare, for example, what are we trying to do to engage with that customer? And can this new interface, medium, stack apply to that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really what we're focused on.
Yeah.
Those are the two areas.
And it's funny because when you sit outside of healthcare, you understand things like turning people into repeat customers and all of that. And then you just essentially change some of the phrasing. In healthcare, it's readmittance, right? Like a huge issue. Do you see a lot of commonalities between what's going on in the retail space around some of these emerging technologies and what you guys think is capable or possible in healthcare?
Yeah. So, we've rebranded as an organization, you may have heard,
yes.
A couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. So part of that was we took about 900 people that were technically focused around cloud services, marketing technologies, customer CRM technologies, things like that, and put them together.
Yep.
So when you look at CPG, they talk about awareness, retention, awareness, acquisition, retention.
Yep.
In healthcare, it's awareness, engagement, and conversion. Mm-hmm. So the words are a little different, but the reality is it's the same thing at the end of the day. How do you get somebody to say, oh, that's interesting, and then now let me engage with it, and then let me do something with it. Right?
Exactly.
So that's the thing we want.
And then taking that step of once they engage, there's a piece of data there, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that data is, have you found when you're bringing those different teams together, a lot of different points of view, the creative spark, the creative juice kind of flows from that, in that now people are starting to look at this information in a very different way?
Yeah, again, I'm very health and wellness focused in my role in working with creative to do that. So we have two things that we bring to the table as part of the overall technology piece. One is there's the Ogilvy Center of Behavior Science, which basically looks at the behavior, our real cognitive behavior. And how do we then match that against the data we're creating? So we know that if you're a diabetic, you're never going to change your behavior based on all these things on the data we know. So the message we create for you is not going to be a yelling and screaming at you message. It's going to be more of a nudge and a helpful message.
Yeah.
And then the technology is deployed to do that. So a notification on your iWatch or a little pop-up that appears on your phone that says, hey, maybe you should just go for a walk.
Yep.
Take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, and the nudge, it's funny because I think now we're seeing, having read in the news, you've got information like the gaming is now becoming acknowledged as a obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at from a pure technology standpoint, that is because a lot of the data-driven decision-making has come out of gaming, where you have gaming companies that understand the human dynamics in that. And what you're saying is that can be used for positive behavior enforcement as well. It's just you have to look at the problems a little bit differently.
Exactly. I think the reason we chose worked on the Microsoft platform for a lot of the stuff that we're doing, particularly the chatbot messaging space using Lewis and a couple of the other technology tools that you have is we also find that the IT functions within our client companies are getting involved now.
Yes.
So it's no longer a, hey, I've never heard of that technology. You're not putting this in my house.
Yeah.
To, oh, okay, this is interesting. I can now integrate it with other CRM applications, or I can put it on my Salesforce cloud, things like that.
Exactly.
So,
and that shared common data platform and the solving for the people problem of that, having that reputation behind the technology, I think is enabling organizations to move faster, especially in healthcare, where there's so much concern about the sensitivity of the data and privacy. But when you have organizations coming in being able to solve these problems with, emerging technologies, trusted emerging technologies, or I use the phrase at one point of durable technologies, which is this is not just a flash in the pan thing that a company brings in through procurement and then kills 3 years because the fad has washed off. This is something that they can ultimately build a data platform on top of.
Well, if I mentioned earlier the use case pieces, we build those use cases, and those use cases are then applied to the tech stack, right?
Yep.
So if you've got a stack that people understand as opposed to something new nobody's ever heard of, it's much easier to get things deployed into a corporation as well.